To lose weight, we all know that we have to be in a calorie deficit, but what if you've never dieted before? How do you even create one? That is going to be the topic of today's video, so keep watching. So what is a calorie deficit? A calorie deficit is basically where you're burning more calories than you're consuming. That is literally it. A calorie deficit is important because it's the only way for us to lose weight. So how do you go about creating a calorie deficit? Well, in order to do that, we need to figure out our maintenance calories, because how can we subtract calories when we don't even know how many we're eating to begin with? And when we're at maintenance, that's when we're not losing or gaining. So how do we find our maintenance calories? Well, what's worked for me is that you track every single thing, every single food item that goes into your mouth on something like MyFitnessPal for 2 weeks straight. And remember, there's no diet, there's no subtraction. We're just seeing where you are at maintenance. After that 2-week period is finished, we should have a rough estimate of what your maintenance calories are and what types of foods that you're eating. And on top of that, you should be also tracking your weight as well. You can do that on like the Notes app on your phone or something. Now you have that information over the course of 2 weeks. I want you to look back at everything that you've tracked, all the food that you've eaten, and now this is where we create the deficit. We need to see if you can make any simple swaps. So look back at all of the food that you've eaten for the past 2 weeks and see if you can make any easy swaps that can reduce your calories without too much fuss. These could be things like swapping out your Cokes for Diet Cokes or leaner cuts of meat to reduce the fat, 0% fat Greek yogurt. These are easy swaps. And if you're on the heavier side, simple swaps like this can actually contribute to a large amount of fat loss without you even doing a lick of exercise. Now, after you've made these simple swaps, again, still tracking your weight, still tracking your calories and tracking what you're eating, you might find that your scale weight goes down, but then it kind of just tails off. That's when we start looking at adding in some weight training and some cardio. Now, what worked for me was doing half an hour of cardio, 30 minutes. But if you can't do 30, then do 20. If you can't do 20, do 15. If you can't do 15, and so on and so forth. Point is, just do some kind of cardiovascular activity. It's not only going to burn a little bit of calories, but also keeps your heart healthy. And who doesn't want that? But now, when you think of cardio, you probably think of something very hard and very, very intense, right? That is not what I want you to do here. The key for fat loss, if you're just starting out, is steady state cardio. Now, steady state cardio is a form of cardio where you can hold a conversation with somebody, but you're not like out of breath. The key here is steady state cardio, not hit cardio, not none of that, not any of that stuff you've seen online. Because let's be honest, if you're as big as I was, nobody wants to see a person of our size doing hit cardio. It is just a nightmare. Like, you're jumping up and down, your fat's flying all over the face, the equipment's moving, the ground shaking, people are getting scared, people are leaving the gym. Just stop. Just please stop. Maybe when we're a little bit smaller, you know, we're a little bit leaner, and we can start looking at hit cardio. But for now, let's just leave it out. Plus, it is very, very intense. Not great if you're just kind of dipping your toe into diet and exercise. I don't want to scar you. I don't want to traumatize you. By the way, if you're enjoying the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and do let me know your favorite cheat food. Comment down below. Thank you very much. Now, it's very important that you don't skip over or brush over this 2-week process, because this is where you're learning the basic fundamentals of fat loss and building those good habits. Because if you've never dieted before and we go straight into reducing your calories, you're going to do more harm than good. Because remember, fat loss is new to you. You haven't acquired the skills, you don't know the knowledge. There's a lot to learn when you first start losing fat. So to then have all of that to learn and then put a deficit on top of that, you're making life so much harder for yourself. Make sure that you do take that 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks at maintenance and tracking your weight and your calories, just so you can build the basic fundamentals of fat loss. Now, during this process, we're going to be keeping track of our average calories week by week and our median weight. I picked the median weight and not the average because taking the median weight cuts out those highs and those lows. Maybe one day you are more dehydrated and you drank more water, or you drank a liter of water before bed. All of these things can affect your scale weight and can contribute to some fluctuations when you weigh yourself. So taking the median number, taking the middles cuts out those highs and lows. So what's worked for me and what a good rule of thumb is once you're at that point where your weight loss is stalled from your calories, you're going to subtract 250 to 300 calories. Now, this may seem very, very small and an insignificant number, but let me explain. You see, subtracting little calories like this, like 250 and 300, it's very easy. 250 calories to 300 calories isn't a tremendous amount, and hopefully it will go unnoticed while you're dieting. So we're just building it up in small steps. Now, once you've subtracted that 250 to 300 calories, you might notice that your weight's going down, and then it stalls again. We subtract a further 250 to 300 calories. We track that for 2 weeks and then see if your weight is still trending downwards. And then if you hit another plateau, if you stall again, then rinse and repeat. Take 250 to 300 off and then keep going for the duration of your fat loss phase. Now, what you should see, depending on the duration of your fat loss phase, is that as you're keeping track of these median weights, you should see a trend downwards. So creating a calorie deficit comes down to finding your maintenance calories and then tweaking and adjusting from that point. If you found this video helpful, then I can guarantee you that the one on screen right now is going to positively contribute to your weight loss goals if you watch it. So watch it.